What's going on, gamers? So in this video, it's going to be about how good Xbox is looking in 2025 and how it's looking better than PlayStation already. Xbox is better than PlayStation this year, and what do I mean by that? Because when you say that, you have people going to sales, and it's like, yeah, PlayStation is selling more, but what about in other categories? Because when you get your console, you're not going to stare at it, right, and marry it. You want to know what games are there. And Microsoft finished this year very strong. Sony finished it very weak. They finished it with Call of Duty. They put Microsoft Flight Simulator there. They put Stalker 2 there. They put Indiana Jones there. I mean, when you think about that, uh, that's a very, very strong finish. And what's more impressive about that is not only them putting that there, but they also put a lot of other great games there. We know we had Hellblade at the beginning of the year too. They put like games that you would pay full price for on PlayStation third party day one on Game Pass. You see what I'm saying? Uh, they put a lot of good Activision games there that I enjoy, like the Spyro and Crash trilogy, which I thought was a pretty cool move by them. And there's going to be more Activision games coming. So, like, the thing that I like about that is that, like I said, no matter what, you're going to be getting high quality games day one, and I can play them on my PC day one. Whereas on PlayStation, you have to pay for everything, and it might not be what you want. And looking over at 2025, like we saw Microsoft was coming with heavy hitters at the end of the year, and they're still continuing. They already have a roadmap going all the way to 2025 to tell you that, man, this was looking better than last year, and you just dropped a whole bunch of games. Sony is not showing me anything so far except what, Death Stranding 2, maybe that may get delayed. And what else are we really looking at? Because it's like, where are all your games at? You know what I mean? They haven't really said anything. Microsoft seems to have a more professional pipeline and already have it set up, and there could be more surprises that we know is going to happen. Like, for example, take a look at Xbox Game Pass right here in 2025. Potentially Avowed, we know it's coming. Doom Dark Age, we know it's coming. Fable, that's a possibility. South of Midnight, we know that's coming. Outer Worlds 2, we saw the trailer for that, we know that's coming. And Towerborn, on top of the next Call of Duty. Just named like 7 games already from the Xbox Studio that's not only going to be available on Series X and S Day 1, but also on the PC to be playable. And we got 33 Immortals, Atomfall, which we saw, Carry On, Citizen Sleeper right here, Clair, Obscur, Expedition 33. I want to talk about that game in a second because that has potential to be a very good Western turn-based game that I'm really looking forward to. And we see all these great games right here that have a potential to be very good. We know Sniper Elite's going to be good. That's coming out this month. Wuchang Fallen Feathers. That looks like another badass game that's going to be coming out of China that could kind of be along the path of Wu Dynasty, Wulong Dynasty that we saw from Koei Tecmo. And Microsoft gives us those games day one, like Lies of P day one, and I play all those there. And I beat them and I enjoy them because I could play them at a higher experience on my PC right here, right? Or if I want to play it on my Series X, I could do that. Not to say that Sony doesn't have good games, but there are always games that are locked. And Microsoft is giving you everything that you know that's going to be available and be supported to be played at a higher experience. And it's still Xbox because you're still using their service. And they'll even give you cheaper Game Pass on PC, which is actually has higher settings, which I think is pretty cool. But looking over on the PlayStation side, it's like, yeah, what are we getting there? You know what I mean? Because I'm not seeing much compared to this. Microsoft is looking way more professional. I mean, have we seen Wuchang? Let's just take a look at this game right here. Like, this game looks sick.
The Ming Dynasty is dead. Although I swore to protect it.
We love our Souls games, you know what I mean? And
now I walk the
figured out how to highlight this.
of blood.
It's not that
Until
long.
my mission is fulfilled. I will not rest until all traitors are silenced and our stolen kingdom returned. Who dares to question my will, standing in the way of my redemption?
This is what I like seeing come out of China. No NTX, gameplay, good video games. So we get an idea here, don't we? we get that idea there, right? You see what I'm saying? Um, Not only that, but they're going to be getting Wukong this year too. So for all the people missed it, I guarantee you're going to see the Final Fantasy games coming to Xbox this year too. If you're on the Xbox side, I'll tell you, you're going to be getting a lot of games. Obviously, those games probably won't be coming to Game Pass, but the point is that this year is going to be very good for Microsoft. And we're talking about playing video games, not sitting there looking at hardware sales, but the games are not, comparing because first party wise, Microsoft had a better year than Sony last year. Sony may have had some like locked games like Stellar Blade and stuff like that, but it's like Silent Hill, right? You're locking those games and paying them to lock them away so other people can have the experience. That's no. It's different if it's your games you're developing for your device. I understand that because Nintendo's been doing that and they're the masters of that. But I would like to see Sony doing that more instead of dropping failures like Concord, right? You better not drop that fair game because that's just not going to do well. And like I said, we know we're going to be having Death Stranding 2 next year, right? But yeah, they're going to need a lot more than that, to be honest with you, because I can't think of what the hell else is coming out for PlayStation in 2025. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Ghost of Yote. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I forgot about that. So that looks like it could be good, and hopefully it's not delayed. We're going to see what happens with that. Got to see more intel about that. But those are two games, right? Still, Microsoft, like I said, you're going to have to bring it harder than that, Sony. And they know that. So I'm pretty sure they may have stuff up their sleeve. We need to see a state of play. We need to see something, right? Because so far, Microsoft's been had this professionally ready for 2025, and it's just looking like they're doing better again, and the tables are turning. And what do I mean by that? When I used to say Xbox had no games, right? It wasn't about sales before, because obviously they were getting bashed for that. And they might potentially be having those OEM reveals this year too, right? We'll see what happens with that, because we got CES around the corner. The thing about bringing Steam on Xbox and having PlayStation games, that's going to be very interesting. I really need to see what the hell is going to be going on with that. But so far, like, compared to where Microsoft was at the beginning of last year and a little bit like into spring, getting close to summer, they've made a huge shift, and we have to give them credit for that. And they always have good ideas. And like I said, Netflix is not Netflix. Yeah. I mean, the quality is about that is that good, but Xbox is just as good as Netflix now. I mean, they're like the best services in the world, benefiting people in two different dimensions. One is in the media, movie, TV show dimension, and this is in the video game dimension. So, like I said, we don't really need to take a look at these. We know what these are. They're in front of everybody. I kind of wanted to highlight the other game, and I want to highlight Clair too, because if y'all are turn-based lovers like I am, because I've been gaming all the way since NES days, this game looks very unique, magical, epic. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, and I have to tell you, the fact that this coming to Game Pass is pretty awesome. You just don't get good turn-based games anymore, like, outside of Persona and a couple other games.
And paint again.
Octopath.
Paint a new number.
This has potential, though.
Every year. One stroke. And everyone of that age vanishes into nothingness. Every year she paints again. And every year an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless mission. Destroy the paintress so she can never paint death again.
That looks amazing.
We'll break the cycle so she can't steal anyone else's future.
This world is full of wonders.
Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death.
Do you mean we're the only ones left?
So, like, I'm gonna get to this in a second.
Watch out!
We're not dying!
Even if we fail, we lay the trail for those who will come after. Right?
So here's my thing with that game too, is the interactive system as the creature's about to attack you, the timing, and the turn-based aspect. Like, that's a huge thing in some games that I love. back then. Legend of Dragoon was one of them, obviously. And then you had some games from Square, like if you take a look at the Chrono Trigger series and other aspects. But this game doesn't look like it's imitating anything. It's unique and creative, and it looks high quality. Like, this is the type of stuff I'm looking for in the gaming industry. You know what I mean? Video games that we're playing, they were earning stuff out of. No microtransactions, all that other bullshit. Pronouns, get the fuck out of here with all that weird shit. Getting distracted from, and we're just seeing really good video games. Not to say that that doesn't pop up, because it's just part of like shit we got to deal with till we get it the hell out of here. But we're seeing good video games here. Like, and once again, it's like when you look at games like that, you look at games like Wuchang, which is also coming to PlayStation. But guess what? We're getting that on Game Pass. We just have to hit the play button, and I can play it on my PC. So this is where I say that even if Sony is getting the same games as Microsoft, Microsoft is providing it for you on their service, and they're beating them with that. And it just makes the Xbox the better choice as a video game brand that's benefiting gamers, not necessarily as like, oh, just looking at this console only selling this. I mean, it's a narrow point of view now, because we need to look at the game. Software is more important than hardware. People need to understand that. Like, hey, that's not an argument. No, it is. I don't get a machine to stare at it, right? Even if it is selling more, if it don't have the games that I want and I'm playing on this service more, then that says a lot. And Game Pass is superior to the service that Sony offers. It's not even close. Of course, Microsoft has more money. I understand that. But at the end of the day, they're still benefiting you more. And they're looking very good. And I'm not seeing any like dry spells here anymore like I did before. The turnaround is now here. You know what I mean? And now they just need to get their hardware aspect together, probably do a price drop and let people know what are the future plans. And we have a lot to find out here. This year is going to be very interesting, and I think this will be one of the best years in gaming ever. And it's been like that the past 2 years. It's been insanely epic. We're more spoiled than we think. It ain't like before. We used to line up and wait for a big game back in the days and go to the midnight release at GameStop and hope that this game is good, because if not, you know what I mean? There's a lot of dry spells out. Now it's just so much to do. And I think that's better, because you could always keep yourself busy. You have so much to do, and you could just enjoy so much. So I would rather have way more to do, even though it's a lot compared to just, you know, those little dry spells. Like, no. It's better like this, because that's just gaming paradise. But that's my thing, you know what I mean? And I think I'm making some very clear points here. What does Sony have? Because they have a lot to prove, because this year was not their best year, and last year was not. First party wise, they're missing a lot. They delayed a lot. I mean, games failed. I mean, they have a lot to prove next year. So if they're not coming next year very hard, it's just not going to look good for them. They can't do 3 years like this, because Nintendo Switch 2 is around the corner. I promise you on everything, Nintendo is coming heavy. They're going to, some of the games they're launching next year is going to sell 10, 15, 20 million. The Switch is going to sell 15, 17, 18 million consoles. They're going to dominate all the sell charts. Microsoft is coming hard. They're going to keep on doing better. I think a lot of pressure is on Sony now at the moment, because you can't just get rid of Microsoft. They have a lot of money, and they're finding ways to be a lot more useful. So honestly, Sony has a lot to prove next year. And I think they need to do some price drops as well. And we're going to see what happens, right? As a publisher and as a developer, because we're not talking about third party. We're talking about, what are you doing next year? We know GTA is coming, but that's going to be on both. That's going to be single player. It's really going to be a test when that online comes. So we'll see if PC can get it before that. But other than that, yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be crazy, because like I said, Microsoft has Call of Duty 2 on top of all this, and it's just looking like their pipeline is going to be really good. And you'll see them putting some stuff on PlayStation. They're going to be Xbox games dominating and selling on PlayStation. They're going to put their games on the Switch too. It's going to be very interesting, because we're going to see Sony do the same thing. They're going to try to launch a lot of their older games and put them on the Switch too. It's like you're going to see they're coming out with Spider-Man at the beginning of the year, Spider-Man 2 on PC, then Last of Us Part 2 coming out on PC. And it's going to be this war about who can sell the most as a publisher, because that's the future. Like I was saying, software is way more important than hardware. What's a console selling compared to a Fortnite? You know what I mean? And you know, a Minecraft and stuff like that. No, definitely when you have tons of other games everywhere and you're making all that on all these other consoles, it's about the games more than anything at the end of the day. So this is something that I really wanted to talk about, that I thought was very important, and how I think Microsoft is doing a good job, and that Xbox is not dead. Because to say that is to mean that what I just said is not useful. That's just people hating on the other side. And as I tell people all the time, I have my PlayStation right here. I have my Xbox right there. I got my Nintendo Switch in the back. My $2,000 gaming PC right here. Let me give you guys an example. You see, I got games right there. I'm in the Cyberpunk at the moment. Let me go ahead and just pull this up for you so you can see I'm running a double monitor right here. You know what I mean? Two monitor setup. Yeah, what are we talking about here? 4K monitor, right? It has HDR. G-Sync is on. And then this other monitor right here, I got doing at 1880p to run balance settings. This is an OLED, by the way, too, but I could do like straight up 4K on this too. And if we go to, I have an AMD CPU, by the way, but an RTX 4070 for my card. Go ahead and bring this up right here. Yeah, we doing a video over here. That G-Sync is on, as you see. That's my second monitor, as I was telling you about. Like I said, I have a Ryzen 9 8945. This thing goes up to 5.3 gigahertz turbo, and it has a 16 L3 cache, which is really good. 32 gigabytes of RAM, DDR5, 6400 megahertz RAM, RTX 4070. As you see, I love this thing. It's really good. There's nothing I can't run. Yeah, not really a problem. Just to share some stuff with you guys, you know what I mean? Like I said, and then obviously I have my my Xbox app right there. Like I said, I played my Xbox stuff on here. Why not? Because I'm playing it on way better settings. And the controller that I'm using on my PC, because I use a different controller on my Xbox. This is the controller that I use on my PC. I love this black and gold controller. I mean, this thing is clean. Of course, I use the play and charge. I mean, you can't compete with that. And I promise you guys, if y'all do our batteries, don't do that. Play and charge is better. Xbox controllers right here. This is what I use on my Series X. If I'm getting on my Series X, like I said, I'm doing the play and charge on there too. And then for my just to show you guys, where the hell is my Switch controller at? I had the Pro controller since day one. I'll be getting the whatever they have for the Switch 2 when that comes out. We game over here. On PlayStation, I have 54 platinums, so you're not messing with me. Can nobody come here and talk a mess to me? To my Xbox, I'm at like 120-some thousand gamer score. I could pull this up for you guys real quick. So we game over here, you know what I mean? I do it all. I'm very hardcore. I don't just sit around talking, you know what I mean? A lot of people be doing it. Let me find my profile. Look at that right there. 120,933 gamer score. We game a lot over here. As I told you, Indiana Jones, Beat, Stalker. Fantastic game. Highly recommended. Call of Duty, play a lot of that. Doom. Like I said, that Crash trilogy, I did that. You see Spyro. I was telling you guys, like, I play at Sifu. They put that on there. I beat that on PC, but I logged in on my PlayStation and my Xbox just to get it because you could sync it and get the free gamer score. Why not, right? Flintlock, even on like, on that shit was trash. Elden Ring, Starfield. Like, you see Hellblade. Like I said, I do this. We do this over here. We game. See, I beat 51 games last year between PlayStation and Xbox and on PC. Also did a lot of gachas, but I'm kind of done with them because I just get tired of that crap with the paywalls. I deleted a lot of games too. That's why you're only seeing this installed. But as you see, obviously I had these on there too. And then I went back to the Crisis trilogy again. I really enjoyed that. That was fun. But all in all, like I said, I'm really looking forward to Game Pass and this year. It's looking really good. And we're gonna see what Sony has, you know what I mean? But I mean, as of right now, even if they do, hey man, I got the Nintendo Switch 2 coming around the corner. I got what's coming on PC and Game Pass, so it's looking good. But yeah, all in all, let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. Ponies, relax. Don't get in your feelings. I'm just telling the truth because show me what you got. Yeah, peace.